You know that feeling when you're learning English, you study, you memorize lists, but when you speak, it just doesn't quite flow. You feel like you're missing that natural rhythm. Well, today we're digging into something that might just be the key. It's a technique called shadowing, and it's all about making your voice kind of follow along with native English speech, like a shadow. Our plan is to really unpack this. What is shadowing exactly? Why does it work so well? We'll give you, clear steps to get started and point out some common traps to avoid. All based on a great discussion by Emily and Paul from Mr. English Channel. We've kind of pulled out the key stuff for you, so let's just get into it. What fundamentally is this shadowing thing?
Right. Well, it's very active.
Yeah.
That's the main thing. It's not like just listening passively. Basically, you listen to some English audio, and at the same time, you repeat it out loud.
Yeah.
You try to copy the speaker as closely as you can. Your voice becomes, like they said, the shadow of the original.
Okay, that shadow analogy makes sense. It clicks. It's not just hearing, it's doing.
Exactly. It's kind of like being a parrot, maybe. But a parrot with a real purpose. You're not just repeating words randomly. You're actually trying to sync up your mouth, your brain, with the rhythm, the sounds, the flow of real spoken English.
Yeah.
And that active part is key. It forces you to really listen to how words connect,
Yeah.
connected speech, or how stress changes meaning. You're kind of reverse engineering it, sound by sound.
Okay, so that's the what. Makes sense, but why does it work so well? It almost sounds too simple, doesn't it?
It does seem simple on the surface, but the benefits are pretty wide-ranging. First off, pronunciation, big one. Think about English spelling, like it can be misleading, right?
Yeah.
About how words actually sound.
Oh, totally.
Shadowing makes you deal directly with the sound. It helps, bypass those tricky spelling rules and focus purely on what you hear. Kind of rewires how you perceive the sounds.
That's a really good point. So many of us learn by reading first, and that sound-spelling gap is a real barrier. Okay, so pronunciation. What else?
Listening comprehension gets a huge boost, too. To shadow well, you have to listen intensely, like hyper-focused. You're anticipating the sounds, the rhythm.
Mm-hmm.
It's like a workout for your ears and your mouth at the same time. And that deep listening naturally makes you understand better, even when you're just listening normally.
And that whole musicality of English, right? The rhythm, the intonation. It's not just words. Native speakers use pitch and stress for meaning, for emotion. Stuff that's hard to get from a book.
Exactly. And shadowing helps you internalize those patterns. You're learning the melody, not just the notes.
Right.
That's so crucial for sounding natural and for being understood properly. And, the more you do it, the more comfortable you get just forming sentences in English. It smooths things out, helps you speak more fluently, more confidently. All these things kind of work together to make you a more natural-sounding, confident speaker.
Wow, okay. That's really persuasive. It hits so many key areas. So right now, someone's listening, they're sold, they want to try it. What do? How do they actually, start?
Okay, let's break it down. Like a 7-step guide. Step 1, find good audio material. Crucially, find something at your level, or maybe just a tiny bit challenging. Too hard, you'll just get frustrated.
Makes sense.
So things like short podcasts for learners, they often speak clearly, maybe a bit slower. That's great to start. Or short clips from TV shows, movies, ones where people speak clearly. And audiobooks are fantastic, especially if you can get the transcript.
Oh, yeah, the transcript is huge. Seeing the words while hearing them really helps lock it in, doesn't it?
Definitely. That connection is powerful. So, okay, you've got your audio. Step 2, just listen first. Play a short bit, a sentence, maybe 2, and just get the general idea. Understand the gist.
Okay.
Then step 3, start shadowing. Play that same short bit again. Now try to repeat exactly what you hear as you hear it at the same time. Don't stress about perfection right away. Focus on the rhythm, the sounds. Just try to follow along closely like that shadow.
Right. And I'm guessing, like anything, repetition is going to be important here.
Absolutely. That's step 4. Repeat it a lot. Go back to that same little section. Shadow it again and again. Each time you'll probably notice something new, a sound, a way the words link. You peel back layers.
Okay, so repeat the short bits, then what?
Step 5. Gradually make the sections longer. Once you feel okay with a short sentence, try a longer phrase. Then maybe 2 sentences, build up to whole paragraphs eventually. You're building that muscle memory.
Right. Building confidence, too.
Exactly. Then step 6, this one takes a bit of courage, but it's so useful. Record yourself.
Ah, the dreaded recording.
Yeah, nobody loves hearing their own voice at first.
Yeah.
But recording yourself shadowing, then listening back and comparing it to the original, it's incredibly eye-opening. It's like getting instant private feedback. You hear exactly where your pronunciation or intonation might be a bit off.
That comparison must be really valuable.
It really is. And finally, step 7, be patient and persistent. Shadowing isn't, instant magic. It takes regular practice. But if you stick with it, even just 10 or 15 minutes of focused practice, a few times a week, you'll see improvement. Big improvements.
Okay, that's a great roadmap. Find audio, listen, shadow small bits, repeat, go longer, record yourself, and be patient. Got it. But are there ways to make those practice sessions even better? Any pro tips?
Yeah, definitely. Once you've got the basic steps down, there are ways to optimize it. First, really try to focus on the physical side of the sounds. Think about how the speaker's mouth might be moving, their tongue position, even if you can't see them. Try to mimic those movements. It's about getting a physical feel for the language, not just hearing sounds.
Huh. That's interesting. Feeling the language. I like that. What else?
Don't get bogged down trying to understand every single word while you're shadowing.
Yeah.
Especially at the start. Your main goal is the rhythm and the overall sound. If you hit a word you don't know, just mimic the sound of it and keep going.
Right. Don't break the flow.
Exactly. You can always look up the word later. Stopping just disrupts that rhythm you're trying to learn.
That's crucial. Perfectionism can really kill progress sometimes.
For sure. Another tip, mix up your audio sources. Don't just use one podcast or one type of show. Try news reports, interviews, maybe even songs, though they can be tricky. Different sources mean different vocabulary, speeds, accents. Keeps it interesting, too.
Variety is the spice of life, right?
Totally. And maybe the most important tip, make it a regular habit. Consistency is key. Like we said, those short, focused sessions, 10, 15 minutes, done regularly. Much better than one long, exhausting session once a week. That consistent exposure really builds the skill.
Fantastic tips. Focus on the physical. Don't stop for every word. Vary your sources and be consistent. Okay, but what about the flip side? What are the common mistakes people make? What should you avoid?
Good question. Knowing the pitfalls helps you avoid them. Number 1, probably choosing material that's way too difficult. If it's too fast, too complex, too much unknown vocabulary, you're just going to get discouraged fast.
Yeah, that makes sense. Start easier, build confidence.
Exactly. Then, related to what we said earlier, another mistake is focusing too much on individual words. You can get so caught up in getting each word right that you miss the bigger picture, the intonation, the flow, the sentence rhythm. Remember, you want the melody, not just the notes.
Mimic the melody. I like that phrase. Okay, what else?
Not being active enough. This is a big one. Shadowing isn't passive. You can't just kind of mumble along vaguely behind the audio.
Right.
It needs real focus, real effort. You have to actively try to match the speaker's pronunciation, their rhythm, their energy. It's a mental workout and an oral one. If you're not engaged, you're not really shadowing effectively.
You have to be really present with it.
Totally. And the last common mistake is expecting to sound like a native speaker overnight, or even after a few weeks. Improvement takes time. You need consistent practice. So, be patient with yourself. Celebrate the small wins. The goal isn't perfect imitation. It's about significantly improving your skills.
That's such an important reminder. Focus on your progress. Okay, so those are great warnings. Now, for people ready to jump in, thinking about those levels, any specific recommendations, like beginner versus advanced?
Yeah, we can tailor it a bit. For beginners, definitely stick to those podcasts made specifically for English learners. ESL, EFL podcasts, they usually have really clear pronunciation, maybe a slightly slower pace. It's perfect for building that foundation without getting overwhelmed.
Okay, good starting point. And for intermediate learners, ready for a bit more?
Intermediate folks can step it up. Try short news clips, often clearly spoken, maybe interviews or TV shows and movies that have pretty clear dialogue. Not, super fast-talking, slangy stuff yet. You're expanding your exposure, but still working with relatively clear sources.
Right, stepping up the challenge gradually. And then for the advanced learners, people really wanting to polish their skills.
Okay, advanced learners, this is where you push yourself. Try complex stuff. Academic lectures, maybe debates, scenes from films with really fast, natural, nuanced conversation. At this level, you're listening for subtleties, slang, idioms, really fine points of intonation and stress. It's a serious workout, but fantastic for refining your English to sound really natural.
That progression makes a lot of sense. Okay, so as we kind of wrap this up, what's the main thing you want people to take away from this deep dive into shadowing?
The big takeaway is this. Shadowing is active, it's effective, and it can genuinely change how you sound and understand English. It targets pronunciation, listening, fluency,
Yeah.
all those key things. Yes, it takes practice. Yes, it takes patience. But honestly, the payoff is huge for anyone serious about improving their spoken English.
So the message is, give it a shot. Don't be afraid to try it. Find some audio that fits you, be patient, practice regularly. You might really surprise yourself with the progress you make. Thanks so much for joining us on this deep dive. We're genuinely excited for you to try this out.
Absolutely. Keep focusing on that active listening and deliberate practice. And maybe leave with this thought. How could really engaging with the sound of English, not just reading it, change not only how you speak, but how you fundamentally understand the way language actually works in real conversation?